I swear, Windows is the stupidest operating system on the planet. I've used Macs for decades. I've used Windows for decades. Windows never ceases to give me issue after issue after issue. I tried to record this or start streaming this a minute ago, and all of a sudden it just decided, I don't understand that you have a microphone. Like, come on, Windows, get your act together. Stupid piece of shit operating system. But it's where we go for games on PCs, because that's where the game makers go. And that's where the really good discrete graphics cards are currently. Even though, you know, I have a Mac Studio here next to me, and it's really amazing. But I wouldn't game on it because there's no games, which is sad. Anyway, so, you know, pick your poison. A shitty operating system that is cobbled together with duct tape and baling wire that, you know, plays games, or something that's fucking elegant as fuck and super fast. Anyway, here we go. I want to test this new Cripple build, or Cripple-Crit build, that Nuka Knights posted the other day. And I have been testing it, but I wanted to sort of do an equal test, or as equal as I can get. At least a sort of before-after test for me. This gun has been my main gun for months now. It's a quad rapid VATS optimized. On my main, I have put pinpointers on it. That was before they nerfed pinpointers, and that made pinpointers, you know, worse. But this is an alt on the main account. He doesn't have pinpointers on it. So this sort of represents most of the other characters I play. And it's a good gun. It kills very quickly. It's fun to use. It's quad, so you just unload a hail of bullets, right? It's great. I love it. I have loved it. The Fixer has been my main weapon since they brought it out. Since the Sheep Squatch, and since I first found out about its ability, you know, in just being a fantastic weapon. I didn't buy into the Elder's Mark hype. I had one. I was like, this thing is, I don't like it. It's just, I'll keep my Fixer, thanks. I don't care if it does 5% less damage. I like my Fixer. Well, now there's like a new kid in town because of all the changes, and that is the assault rifle. This guy right here, and he is, of course, very good. Not just is it more powerful, but it also is more elegant. It has the elegance of the handmade for me, as far as the way it fires, the way it feels when you fire it. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's bigger. Like if you see in the bottom half of my screen there, it's like bigger, right? I play in first person. The Fixer is, I don't know why he keeps, he doesn't like to point at the urinal. That's weird. He's like, no, don't shoot the porcelain basin. But I just want to show you these weapons. But you can see this is nice and smallish. This is much, much larger. Like it goes higher and farther left and right, which seems like not a big deal. But when you're in first person and you're looking around, you want to see as much as possible. If I could move this gun down a little bit, I would like it. Now, I could always play in third person, like, whoops, not that, like that. But I don't like third person. I just don't like it. Hey, Providence. I don't like third person. It's just not what I enjoy in an Elder Scrolls game. I tend to be first person almost all the time. Just, it gives me the immersion that I like. So that's one negative thing I have about this gun. Otherwise, it's all positive. It's a fantastic weapon. It's my new favorite gun. So I'm using it, you know, I have it on, why do I keep doing that? I love it. But if we compare these, they're all the same except for this one has bullies. Now, bullies used to be meh. You wouldn't put it on a ranged weapon. It would be like on a melee weapon. They changed it, so now you do extra damage per crippled limb that your target has, as you see it right there. So I've been testing this, and it is pretty amazing. The numbers aren't amazing. Like the numbers you see on the screen don't reflect what it's actually doing, as far as I can tell. Yep, 76. So, let's go test this, and I'll show you what I mean. I have these in the same place. I'm actually going to hide her screen here so she doesn't eat up my GPU resources. We're going to go south. This has been my current best test place. I try to get their radiation as close as possible. So they're both starting with 18% health to sort of try to get their adrenal reaction or whatever effects I have being affected by how much health they have to the same amount. So I'm first going to clear on him to the queen. Obviously, you can see it's no problem killing things, right? Very fast. Very good. Whoops, I don't want to kill her yet. I want to kill everything around her so that nothing else kills her. Stop it. Quit damaging my queen. My queen. Like Jon Snow. You are my queen. When he started to lose his brain. So I'm going to basically get everybody out of here, except for the queen. Don't spout at me. That's her spouts, by the way, that do that. I might die here. See? Okay, so now we've cleared. Now let's see how fast this guy, Larry, who's an alt, right? He's on his own server. So I'm basically going to try to take him down, take down the queen. So that's pretty good, right? That's awesome. Excellent result with the queen. Took about 30 bullets, maybe. Now let's do it on her. Yeah, a bit OP. Nothing I can do about the stream. I'm seeing no lag from my end, so it might be because it's being streamed still. I see no dropped frames, which is good. Oh, there we go. An event dude. All right, so obviously she is in her Cripple-Crit build. You can see it kills very quickly. Oh, good, she's not up yet. Now, if I had a sheep squatch, I would do that, but they seem to be, those and blue devils seem to be the toughest enemies out in the world. But the queen is a good proxy. She's also pretty tough. She also does a hell of a lot of damage out of those spouts. She like spits that poison. So that's her weak spot. So if you want to kill her fast, that's where you aim if you can. All right, so let's grab a, okay, do I have a fragmentation grenade? Good. So I'm going to target her weak spot after this, and let's drop, oh, I know what it is. She has Ordnance Express. Okay, well, I need to drop some more because I want this to be a fair comparison, and I don't want a bunch of crap on her. There we go. All right, so I'm going to toss a grenade. That'll bring her up. Whoops, I hit my mouse as I was trying to change my monitor's brightness. All right, so this is going to cripple her right away, and I'm just going to unload, basically. Boom. See how fast that was? I used 10 bullets. And she was completely incapacitated after about the third bullet. You didn't even see it because it happened so fast. But that's how good this build is. So what's happening is, it's an amazing synergy that, you know, I'm always late to the party when it comes to these things. Because I'm like I'm in my happy daily mode. I'm like, oh, I'll let other people figure all this fun stuff out, you know, and someone will eventually post a neat video where they figure this new thing out, and I'll watch it, and I'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Well, it's because I'm letting other people think about it. Like, I have the time that I have, I want to spend on the daily, or I want to go play Diablo 3, or I want to go play Oblivion Remastered, or I want to do something that's, you know, more conducive to my brain. When I actually go into testing mode, I'll test certain things, like related to crafting, perhaps, or like I'll grind on the boss or something. I'll figure out more efficient ways to kill the EN06 Guardian. But when it comes to like trying out different cards here, I don't know. It's that I get overwhelmed so much as it's like, well, I don't really know what works with what, because I don't take the time to like work it out. Like I don't sit down with a piece of paper and say, if I were to do this with this, then this might happen and this might happen and that might happen. But other people are doing that. So they post a video and they're like, oh yeah. And they also understand like this applies to, you know, this works with rifles now. You know, it shows a shotgun, but it actually works with rifles now. I'm like, okay. So this used to be a shotgun card, right? And I think this one was as well. But now that they've generalized the cards to be applied to, you know, many different kinds of weapons, you have small weapons, you have large weapons. You have pistols are the only ones, well, heavy weapons are the large weapons. Pistols seem to be the only thing now that are called out by type. So now if you look in here in this category, you can see pistols, right? So pistols gain this. And I think over here, heavy weapons are its own category as well, right? So heavy weapons, where is it? Oh, he doesn't have any heavy weapon cards. But like the heavy weapons here, so heavy gunner, explosive, heavy guns. So you have small guns, you have heavy guns. That's it. And then you have pistols. And pistols are also small guns. They've like reduced the complexity and the interactions of things, probably to help reduce their coding overload, right? Because doing all those calculations and trying to keep it all balanced and straight in their heads was probably difficult. So against small enemies, it's not much more powerful. Like these little shitty things, it doesn't do much more because they're already so sort of wimpy. This is more like a take big things down build. So let's see if we can find another big thing. Let's go take, let's see if we get a blue devil or a sheep squatch over here at Welch Station. There can be sometimes an event. Well, there's always some kind of an event that takes place just to the left as you port in. Like if you turn around and look the other way. And you'll hear the skirmish going on, like shortly after we arrive as this little portion of the world sort of wakes up from stasis and it gets populated. Okay, well, this was a disappointment. It's ticks, really? Well, that was a disappointment. Okay, well, let's go back to Cranberry Bog and see if we can find something more interesting. Like, let's go to Thunder Mountain and work on this big dude here. Wow, he doesn't have that yet. Let's go to Quarry first. So let's take down the giant death claw that's here at the power station. Let's see how quickly he comes down. Remember, his weak spot is the belly. So don't shoot his head. It's weird, the server lag doesn't register the hits. Come on, dude, take out all your enemies. Okay, so I'm gonna park her here. I'm gonna swap over and take him over there to actually discover this location. Remember, this is just one of my alts. You can see that he has so many places he's not been yet, right? But now he'll discover this location. This one he's fighting bloat flies. Come on. Why does it do that? It's so annoying. Let me get a hit in. Thank you. Jesus. Nope. Don't find me. Don't find me. He's like annoyed. He's like, damn those damn bloat flies. Okay, so I'm gonna target his belly. Let's see how fast he can go down, how many bullets it takes. Because this is full magazine. Okay, so 67, so 13 rounds. Now I did that fast because obviously he's gonna come for me if I don't, right? Well, the beautiful thing about this is I can basically take him down and I'll do it I don't know if it'll be fewer bullets, but this is a full magazine, so... Oh, she's not in a group. Let me put her in a group. That way her stats are better. Duh. Okay. So 2 fewer bullets, but you'll notice the whole time he was getting staggered. He was like, So basically what that means is he's crippled, he's staggered. Both of them are getting staggered, but he's getting crippled. So even if he wanted to move towards me, he couldn't. Now, to better ensure that, I would target his head, because that seems to be the best, like, control point for getting enemies to be, you know, staggered and incapacitated. Let's drop some of this bullshit that she keeps picking up. I'd like to keep those if possible. She's carrying so much here. 583 copies. They do add up. I don't want to get rid of the fish bits. Yeah, the minor mole pails are coming in. Let's see here real quick. Get rid of those. Those weigh a lot. These weigh a lot. Don't need any of these. That's all from farming the raid. I know it seems like sacrilege to get rid of those, but they're not hard to get. Just go kill the Anno 6 Guardian a few times and you'll be swimming in chems. Alright, so let's go over to the Old Mold Quarry. Old Mold Quarry. I'm going to have to get there this way. We'll test this on the behemoth. There's another behemoth we can test on as well. Over in just west of Twin Lakes. Let's see. Let's go. We're going to... Oh, yeah. I guess I could have just ported right to the pylon. Don't know why I didn't. Alright, so we want to go north. There's blood eagles here. I'm going to try to avoid them just by going around. This is where the Agua event takes place. The one that drops the holy fire, where you can get rewarded the holy fire in the Elder's Mark. I do like the holy fire. That's a good weapon. Not a huge fan of the Elder's Mark. Again, it's not always rational. It's sometimes just an irrational dislike. Like, it's not enough better than the Fixer that it makes me want to switch. Like, I'm not going for a 1% improvement in DPS, you know? Oh, it's 1% better. You can kill things with 1 fewer bullet sometimes. Like, it's not compelling for me to, like, go and change everything I'm doing and spend all that money to make a new weapon. And to have to farm it. Because, remember, I want all my characters to be built the same way at the end of the day. I want them to all have the same weapon, the same this, so I can just slide into any one of them and continue playing with the same card layout, the same weapon, same everything. It's simpler when you're switching characters to not have to relearn everything you're doing. I'm trying to get rid of all this shit that's around him. There we go. Again, we're not going for the numbers so much as we are going for, as much as we're going for the number of bullets used to kill him. And this is not even bloodied. Like, I've moved back to bloodied weapons. Like, the quad was sort of a convenience thing. Like, you know, at the end of the day, a quad does kill things better. It just doesn't kill it faster. Reason being, you have 4 times as many bullets doing half the damage each. That's still twice the damage per clip, if you do the math, right? At least it was even a little bit better. Now that bloodied is a little bit better than it was before, the math isn't quite as good, but it's still good, right? You can kill more things with the quad than you can with the bloodied, but they don't kill as quickly. And the beautiful thing about the assault rifle too, see how long it takes to reload that fixer, right? I shoot and I go do. That's one reason you'd want to go to the quad, because it's like that reload time is kind of annoying. If I do the same thing with the assault rifle, done. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. And if you speed it up with cards and stuff, it goes even faster, and it's like it's like a quarter of a second. It's insane, or maybe half a second, as opposed to a full second with the fixer. I have to be careful I don't damage. Oh, you know what? They messed me up. They didn't spawn the big guy. Oh man. They spawned this instead, which I'm not going to complain about too much, but I'd rather have the big guy for the sake of testing the behemoth. But, you know, there is another behemoth. Let's go find the other behemoth. Let's see here. Twin Lakes. Does he have it? So, he doesn't have it. I'll just run down from Foundation. This is the classic behemoth testing dummy. He is like right down this way, I believe. Down this way. Oops. Why did that happen? There he is. You might ask, why don't you record this and edit it together? I don't want to do that. It's too much work. You can just forward to what you want to see. I'll let you do the work if you care to watch it. All right, so now we're gonna go. Actually, yeah, let's go this way. It is down a cliff, but now there's no fall damage, so I don't have to worry about it. Just have to deal with these stupid falling trees, or fallen trees. Wee bump. Kind of want to get that travel spot too, which I do need to go grab that after this. Whoops, coffee. Oh shit, I just accidentally took the wrong thing. I took like 3 Brahmin milk instead of taking coffees. Okay. That's all right. Their health is about the same now. Not that it should matter for the sake of this. All right, so now we're in the same place. I'm going to just shoot 1 bullet at a time, and you'll see the benefits of the crippling effect, right? So this is the fixer. This is the assault rifle. I'm going to target the head. That's his weak spot. Let's do him first. So let's wake up the behemoth first. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, sorry. It's 8. Oh, he's coming to me. He's coming to me. He's coming to me. Gotta run away. Up. He's following me. Now, normally you just unload a clip, right? But I just want to show you the difference that the crippling thing makes. Okay, so that's 53. That's almost 30 bullets, right, to kill that guy. That's a better test. All right, so let's see how this one works. Again, targeting the head. Full clip, right? Oh, look, he's crippled. He can't move. And I can just sit here and just watch him and laugh and point and ha 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 ha. You can't move. So 63 bullets. So fewer bullets, less ammunition, and he's crippled. He can't move. So I don't have to keep moving away from him, fearing that he might, one, discover where I am and smash me, or just move, period. Like I just want him to stay where he is. Now, if I had shot faster, he would have been crippled faster and just sort of locked down in place and unable to move. So that's the idea behind the crippling build. And the fact that I'm doing sort of, I'm sacrificing some things to get that crippling effect, but I'm also bringing some of that damage back, like plus 75% range damage to crippled targets. So there's a benefit right there. I am in a full sneak build. So I have Covert Operative, I have Mr. Sandman, right? Same on both accounts, or same on both characters, but I've had to swap out stuff to get Enforcer, which, you know, the rifle now has plus 75% limb damage, so I can cripple him faster, right? So once crippled, you know, any crippled limb, and I'm still unsure exactly how this actually works, but if you look at the description for like the bullies effect, it's, you know, 25% damage per crippled limb your target has. I'm guessing that's fully crippled, right? So the little health bar under the limb has gone to a complete empty bar. So like if only the head is crippled, that's only an extra 25% damage. So really, it kicks in the more crippled the enemy becomes. So at first, you're like trying to apply the cripple effect, and it's sort of propagating from one limb to the next, you know, because of the scatter shot effect. So I hit the head, and so that gets full weapon damage from the ammunition, right? So say 500 damage. 100 of that goes to all the other limbs. Let's say that the arms have 200 health or 300 health. I have to hit 2 more times, and now the arms are crippled. I think it's the legs first, actually. That way that you can lock them down. But so now the legs are both crippled, and then maybe the next shot, both arms are crippled, and maybe the shot after that, the torso or the tummy or whatever other pieces are there are also crippled. And at that point, then this card, well, this card will kick in right away, but Enforcer will kick in and get more powerful and have more effect as you cripple... Shit, not that one. Where is it? Tormentor, here it is. Jeez. You deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. So as each limb gets crippled, so first the head, then the legs, then the arms, and then the chest, you know, based on the amount of health that each limb has. When you bring its health, it's not the creature's health, because the creature has a sort of a different health bar at the top of the screen. So you can cripple limbs without taking the creature all the way down. You could cripple every single limb on the creature, and the creature is down maybe by 1/3 health. It's just interesting the way that works. But once every single limb has been crippled, all 6 limbs, for example, now every bullet you hits for 120% more than it would otherwise. So 2.2 times its original damage. And then on top of that, you have this, you know, additional damage. Then you have, well, this just lets you cripple it faster. And then you have Bully's effect, which, like the Tormentor card, just adds more damage per crippled limb. So now I have 25% per crippled limb, and then Tormentor, it by itself is another 20. So 45% more damage per crippled limb. So if you multiply like just under 1/2 by 6, that's almost 300% extra damage just for crippling all its limbs. So that sort of works better on a really big thing like the behemoth, right? That's not going to affect, you know, a mosquito or a blood bug or, you know, a ghoul. You can go and basically one-shot ghouls because they're so low in health, and that damage that propagates outward, you know, your second bullet pretty much kills them immediately, because that first shot, you know, cripples all the limbs, or cripples most of the limbs because of the amount of health they have, which is not that much. So for example, I can go over here and immediately cripple a ghoul, like down to nothing in one shot. So headshot, he's falling to his feet, right? They all fall to their feet. Either that or they're dead. So he's still alive. These guys are all... Oh, that one missed. So these guys are all incapacitated, right? They're not dead, they just can't move because they're all crippled. So the second shot on them is going to completely decimate them. No matter where I hit, it'll just end them because that second shot is having all those effects multiplied because every single limb on their body is now crippled. So the second shot, even though it only shows, like 400, is actually more like, 2,400 or something. It's insane. And maybe it's showing it as separate little numbers that are all overlapping each other. But that would be something like if there was some sort of a combat log, like in World of Warcraft. Currently, they're going to get rid of that, I guess. Or at least you can look at it afterwards. But Mole Miner, boom. Now, if we cycle through all his limbs, you can see his legs are crippled. So let's target this guy. Head, now crippled. See, his legs are crippled. Head crippled. These melee guys, those limbs do recover after a minute. But you can see they're sort of locked down in place. They can't move. Next hit's going to kill them because their limbs are crippled. And all those crippled limbs act as a force multiplier thanks to the card and the bully's effect. It's kind of amazing. See, he can't move. He thinks I'm over there, but the arms aren't crippled yet, but his legs are crippled. Yeah, so he has 3 crippled limbs, so this is going to do another 150% damage that we're not seeing, right? I saw 503, but really it's like 2,000 damage. But anyway, I wanted to point that out and just explain. It's kind of amazing. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. It would be nice if I saw those numbers. Like, I don't know if they would want to call out the numbers as separate things and fly them out to the sides, or if they would want to just sort of concatenate all the numbers as this is how much you did in total in this one shot kind of a thing. The other thing I'm sort of on the fence about, and I think I've come to conclusion about one of them, where it's the second star effect. What second star do I want on my go-to daily carry weapon? This is not for public events necessarily. This is for daily carry. When I'm out and about and I'm just doing my quests or doing my daily score, what effect do I want on the second star? And so far I've always had, weapon speed, because that's sort of like the best. And it still can be the best, even with a fully, bloodied all this, a fully converted over to crippling. But I'd also like Vital, because it lets me shoot from farther away and not miss. So when you hit, you cripple. And that means the enemy's not going to arrive. Oh, there we go. A sheep squatch. It's exactly what I wanted. Oh my God, this and the Blue Devil are the toughest to take down. This is perfect. I'm out of whatever. Okay, I believe his sweet spot is the head. Let's see how many bullets it takes. They're tough. See, he's crippled now. Now he's no longer a threat, right? Now he heals quickly, apparently. So I'm trying to do this slowly so that you can see how many bullets it actually takes in a slow, and you can see the crippling effect. So if we look at his limbs, he's fully crippled. Every bullet I do is doing 6 times the normal damage, or more than that. No, sorry. It's doing 6 times 0.45, so about 250% more damage, 260% more damage than what's being shown there. Anyway, that's just amazing to me. The fact that you can lock him down, you can make him suffer for all the suffering that he's put you through, because they're terrible, terrible to come across. Anyway, just wanted to show that. That's my latest testing. So I did test a ghoul. The video is posted. I did a ghoul on not a private server, but like the server where you can do anything you want. You can set it up to, it's like a whatever world. Basically a test world where nothing costs anything and nothing you do matters really. It's just for testing things. and just for having silly fun. But I did the ghoul thing, and I don't like it. I don't like the trade-offs that I'm having to take in. I like being on a low-health, unyielding build. I like the extra little amount of danger that it provides. You know, someone posted on the Nuka Knights video, it's like, you lost me at stealth. It's like, really? Have you tried stealth low health build? You can die. Like, you can die if you're stupid. You can die very quickly. Like, you can die in one hit if you're dumb. So you have to learn how to play this build, and once you've learned it, it's really fun, right? You realize how powerful it can be once you've accepted the trade-offs and learning how dangerous it can get, how quickly you can die if you make a terrible mistake. Whereas with the ghoul, I could just stand there and face tank anything, and it was like no danger at all. My health bar was going down, but I had almost 1,600 health, as opposed to right now where I have 61 health. So it's like, you tell me which, and he called it coward. You know, I'm not going to cowardly sneak around. I'm like, really? That's cowardly? Have you tried it? Have you really seen just how dangerous it can be? It's a playstyle choice. It's not cowardly. It's having fun being like a sneaky assassin. It's like, dude, give it a rest. Go play it and then come back after a month and tell me how much you like it. It's really fun. It's my preferred playstyle 95% of the time. Can't do it in public events or some public events, which bugs me. I wish I could stay stealthed in public events. But, you know, for that, I have Born Survivor and my public events build, which puts on things like Born Survivor. I do have this, which I'm going to have to rebuild all these characters around this new Cripple-Crit thing, but now I'm much harder to kill. And I've done public events where I've face tanked things. This was back before they nerfed Born Survivor, so I don't know if I could do that now. But Born Survivor, it used to be every time you drop below 20% health, you'd take another stim pack. So you could drop, it'd take it. You drop, it'd take it. But now, of course, it's even more dangerous to be low health because this only procs every 20 seconds. Ew. But of course, now I'm with Ironclad, I have a lot more armor, 535, 600. Now, on this character, she is sporting my new setup, which is Covert on 4 pieces, Secret Service on 1, and then Covert with the Scout Mask, which makes her sort of not pretty anymore, right? Wearing that stupid mask, covering her face. There it is, right? I can't see her face anymore, which bugs me. But I wish you could put on something different as like, yes, you're wearing this mask, but I would like to not see the mask. Like, hide my mask, you know? That kind of a feature. These guys are annoying. These guys can ruin your day pretty quickly if you're a low health build and you don't have the right perks. But yeah, so my new thing is to go with Covert Scout, which makes up for the fact that I lost the Fixer's 20% bonus to sneak in dark places, right? So like if we look at the Fixer, we can see, plus 15% stealth in shadows, which does make a difference. If you're sneaking around, this does make you sneakier, right? That's nice. It's very nice. The 100% sneaking speed doesn't really do much if you already have Speed Demon, which my characters all do. And I've actually tested this back months ago when I learned that the assault rifle was going to be better. So I did a bunch of tests where I would set up my character at the southernmost train on these tracks right by Morgantown, like just south of this, and then I would like basically stay in stealth all the way until I hit a certain train up here, and then I would go back and time it. And using the Fixer versus using the assault rifle was only a difference of like three or 4 seconds. So it was like, this Fixer's slightly faster, but it's not. It's like 1% faster, maybe 2% faster. Nothing to get in a twist about. I'm willing to give up that little tiny bit of extra sneak speed because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day unless I'm traveling long distances. And if I'm traveling long distances, I'm probably sprinting anyway. So it's like, if I'm sneaking from here to over there, A 2% difference is like half a second. I don't care about that. It's no big deal. It's tempting, but I won't do it. What else am I figuring out here? So I've swapped to covert armor where I can make it, which only 2 characters know how to make it right now. But I need to, when Minerva comes back around, I'll make sure all the characters hit her up for at least the limbs, not the chest, because I'm keeping the Secret Service chest. Because this, right? Gotta have that jetpack. And then, of course, they'll all be wearing the face mask, which is annoying, but there it is. So, whoops, favorite that. So right now, still intelligence. That's going to stay intelligence because this is the set that I swapped to, like the Secret Service arms and legs. I will put those back on if I'm doing like West Tech farming, or if they go into the raid and just sort of get parked behind the wall and just leech for XP, plus, buttressed, jetpack. All unyielding. That's very important to me. And then these pieces, I'm setting them up with the same build, polymer, but this time muffled. So stealth while moving. And I need one more piece. Let's go buy that real quick. I'll show you where you buy the pieces for that. You go to White Spring Service. You have to finish the main quest line until you unlock this area. Once you've unlocked that, you can go in here. You can buy the mods for the covert armor. You can't craft them, unfortunately. But you come in here. That was the one thing I still had left to do on her, was to get her 4th muffled mod. So she'll actually be slightly more stealthy. Well, considerably more stealthy. I don't know, maybe not more stealthy, but almost as stealthy or just as stealthy. Because again, I'm removing the sneak perk card. I no longer use sneak, preferring instead damage-related perks. So this is sort of a way to compensate for that, right? All the way up here to the Armory Terminal. Right here. So now we're going to go over to mods, and I need to look for muffled. Muffled limb. There we go. Only 3 of them are available at most, so I could only get 3 the time before. I'll come over here. Hey, Mr. Handy, can you move, please? All right, so I need to find the one piece that doesn't have muffled. I think it's the bottom one, right? 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. Did I do all of them? I did do all of them. How did I miss that? Oh well. No big deal. Now I have another one for a rainy day. I thought I just looked and it was missing from one of the pieces. Am I losing my mind? Huh. I must have been like looking at something else. Maybe like a wood arm or something. Anyway, but that's where you get them. That's how that all works. So for me, those muffled pieces give her 20% more stealth while moving, which sneak would ordinarily do. It would just make her generally sneakier. But I'm giving that up, so I need to make up for it by, getting a stealth some other way. And so that's the way I'm doing it, by using the covert scout armor, putting muffled on all those pieces. And since I'm killing faster, I don't need as much AP, because that was one thing I had on my Secret Service armor, was I had ultra light to not only make them lighter to store and to carry, right? If I look at this, it's ultra light, but I also had, but it also gives you an extra 5 AP, right? So I'm losing 20 AP, but the fact that this will kill faster when I'm fully kitted out, in my final, once I've done all my analysis and I've decided how I want, which weapon or weapons I want each of my 10 characters to have as their main 2 or 3 weapons, because they still have their handmade for public events, right? This is their public event build with the handmade. It's just for tagging. I don't actually try to kill anything. I just try to tag so I can at least, get a few extra XP here and there. See, it doesn't do a very good job of killing things, but tagging for me is what I want to do in most public events, because I just don't want to steal everyone's kills. That's rude. Anyway, that's it from me. Maybe that was informative. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Hope you can go with it. Here, I'll show you my DPS build currently. This is the DPS build for using Bloodied or Quad. If I were using a Furious weapon, or if I wanted Furious effects, like if I wanted to play this outside of stealth, I would mix these cards up and I would pull off Covert Operative and Mr. Sandman. And instead I would do... I mean, I might leave... Okay, no, I don't want that. Yeah, so Mr. Sandman, both of those cards would be useless. So instead, what I would do is I'd probably put on this card, because that would increase my initial damage. And since I kill so quickly, the fact that I'm burning through those stacks doesn't matter as much. Now, if I were taking down really big creatures, I would probably not put that card on. But, let's see, I would probably put on... Did I buy it on her yet? I may not have bought it on her. Here we go. But see, there's 3 cards. So I'd probably get rid of Escape Artist and Light-Footed because I'm no longer in stealth, right? I could even get rid of Pack and Light. But then I could put on like this card and this card. And this is, this is a fantastic setup for a gun that just runs up and face kills things. Like I can go over here and you can see my stacks there are 18. If I swap to a Furious Weapon, then, this works outside of low health, right? So, crippled, can't hurt me. Yes, it takes a moment to get those stacks back, but they come back pretty quickly. So I'm only using a couple bullets, and if this were bloodied, they'd likely die in just one hit, right? So I can go over to my... Do I have my bloodied weapon? No, I think I yeah, this used to be a bloodied weapon, now it's just quad. So I need to build new bloodied weapons for everybody. Crippled, down. Crippled, down. If this were bloodied, they'd be dead in one hit many times. I have a single shot gun that basically ends things in one hit. Because I can put calibrated on there, I think it's called, where you do 100% extra sneak damage. And things usually die in one hit. At least like these shit mobs die in one hit. Even some high-end mobs die in one hit. Just because, you get lucky and your crit is already primed and ready to go. The bar is fully white. I'm out of water. It's funny, they say, the ghoul's great because you don't have to drink food or water. It's like, yeah, but you have to chug toxic goo left and right. Like crazy. And then you have to keep using chems to keep from going feral if that's, if you want to do a ranged playstyle. So it's not like you stop doing things, you just do different things, right? It's like, no food and water, yay, you're always well fed, but that's not true. You don't get it's like these cards, that you used to get a benefit from. Where is it? Rejuvenated. These cards, I think, go away. No, not rejuvenated. Here you go. I think you have to be a human for these. It doesn't say it, but I think you do. Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense with less than 10% rads, right? I mean, this one would, but because you have 0 rads. But this one I would never use in a ghoul, even if you could use it. Well, this one I could. Neither of them, really. See, I'm just rambling because my brain's like going off in 3 different directions here. But the thing about ghoul is I didn't lose any of that micromanagement. I just had to do different micromanagement. So that didn't change. I just had to learn new micromanagement techniques, including that feral meter. I lost the utility of my unyielding armor, which I didn't like. I like being low health. I like the excitement that the danger brings, and I like managing that aspect of, stay in stealth, don't get hit, that kind of a thing. Even in a public event, you're low health. So it's like, it seems like a suicide mission, right? But it's not, because you build for it, right? You build extra tough. You have things like, ironclad that you can put on that make your armor even better, because you're wearing a matched set. You can put on, Life Giver, right? Put that on if you want to. All 3 pieces. or all 3 stacks there. What else? You can bring your health up to 40% if you're, in a more dangerous one, like the reflective, mutated events, right? So you don't want to kill yourself right away on something because you have a lower health pool. So you raise your health up to 40%, so you have a little bit of a buffer there, and you're using a public event weapon that you're not actually targeting the enemies directly. You're sort of targeting off to the side and letting the splash damage from the explosion do damage to tag things. And you don't get any self-damage from splash damage, right? If I hit something with the explosion part, that nothing comes in, no damage comes in. It's sort of an interesting thing. So the ghoul doesn't help me in public events. It doesn't help me with my daily run around. The XP is worse because I'm not using unyielding armor. My stats, that's one thing I really felt was my specials all went down really low. It's like, my AP doesn't last as long. I'm less stealthy when I want to be stealthy because my agility is much lower. I can't carry as much because right now my carry is really good. I mean, it's not great right now, but 343, for what it's worth. And I can bring it higher if I need to, but I also have lots of benefits of, weight reduction perks on me as well, which is why I can carry so much at the moment. Like I'm carrying, all these weapons, and they only weigh 68 pounds, right? Nuka grenades, all these weapons, only 68 pounds, you can see right there. So, but a lot of this goes out the window because radical is no longer a thing, so I don't get that benefit. I don't get the benefit of extra strength. I don't get the benefit of extra perception, so I have to be closer to things. And that was, I wanted to point that out. That's the other thing I learned is I pretty much wanted VATS enhanced, right, as the second star, which means I can't crit as much because I have to get almost on top of enemies in order to hit them, especially to hit the head, right? Because my perception is so much lower as a ghoul. And yes, I could take, perception food, and I tried, and it didn't do much. I couldn't get nowhere near 35 perception. And that's without buffing, right? So it's like as a ghoul, it's like, you gotta buff up, you gotta buff this, you gotta buff that. It's like, well, I don't have to do that here. Yes, I do have to manage my food in the water, but that's no big deal. I have free water right here all the time. I have free food in the form of cakes right here. So, boom, boom, I'm back up. It's no big deal. It's just minus equals. Minus equals, right? Just minus equals, I'm back up. Or I could take perfect whatever, perfect bubblegum, and that's no big deal. I never use that because I just do minus equals and I'm back up on my keyboard. Boom, easy, done. If I need to get rid of rads a little bit, I just hit 0. That's my Brahmin milk. If I want to extend my coffee, like if I'm sprinting somewhere, I just hit 9. I hit a coffee, right? I've got tons of coffee. I need to offload some of these. If I need more radiation, I go to 5. That's, my plasma gun. Boom, down. If I want to go all the way down to 5%, I can do that as well. Moderate that with that and some Brahmin milk, and I can get very close to 5%. Take a little food if I need to, take a couple more pieces of cake. One more piece of cake and I'm at 5.1. So, once you learn all these things, it's habit, and you don't really need to be a ghoul. So to me, ghoul is great for melee. If I were doing a melee build, I would go ghoul, because that's clearly better, right? They have so many perks for that. But as ranged, I would never go ghoul. I don't care if it's better in this situation or that situation. I'm not interested. Doesn't entice me at all. To me, the disadvantages far outweigh the advantages. So I won't be a ghoul anytime soon on any of my characters. So that's where I stand on that one. And yes, I see I'm starting to lose frames now for some reason. Sorry about that. This is a really long video to explain one little thing. So if you stuck around, my hat's off to you. Good job. If not, I totally understand. I'm going to suicide myself here so I can just reset my health back to 25% without having to take a bunch of Brahmin milk. And I know that's one of those trigger words. You're not allowed to use that word. What, suicide? You're not allowed to use suicide? It's a word. Get over it. People know what that word is. I'm not advocating, and I'm not saying to do it. Please don't do it. But just using the word, that's stupid. Anyway, I'm done. Bye-bye.